Hello students, hope you are all doing good. In today's class we shall discuss something called as Ohm's law. Ohm's law. In order to understand this law, let us do a small activity. For this activity you need 1.5 volt battery, 5 different 1.5 volt battery, connecting wires. For this you can take insulated copper wire, then ammeter, voltmeter, switch and LED. What you will do is, you will connect first one single cell. You also need iron spoke of length 10 centimeters. Take an iron spoke of length 10 centimeters and place it between the gaps that you have provided here. You are taking a connector, switch, a single cell, and you are taking 10 centimeters iron spoke and you are placing it in the gap that you have left. Now let us supply voltmeter like this. Let us keep ammeter like this. Now here, when you are using one battery, there is certain amount of current that flows and it offers some, and there is certain amount of potential difference between the two ends of the iron spoke. Now what you do is, add one more cell to the circuit. What will happen? The potential difference increases. Let us say the potential difference has changed to, let us say for the first case the potential difference is V1 and current flowing is I1. Now you are adding two batteries, one more cell. So what happens here is the potential difference increases. When the potential difference increases, you will observe that the current also increases. When the potential difference increases, the current also increases. Connect three batteries. So when you are connecting three cells, not battery, when you are connecting three cells, the potential difference further increases, because of which the current also increases. Let us say in the first case you got potential difference as V1, current as I1. Next time you are adding two cells. Let us say the potential difference offered by them is V2 and current is I2. Third case, add three cells. You will find, let us say the potential difference is V3 and for this current flowing is I3. Next case you are adding one more cell, potential difference V4, current is I4. Next case you are adding one more cell, potential difference is V5, current is I5. Now as you are increasing the potential difference, you will notice that the current flowing also increases. Why does it increase? Now imagine two water tanks like this, which are separated by a pipe. Now as the level of water increases, what happens is the water flowing through this pipe also increases. So here, as you are increasing the potential difference, the current also increases in the similar manner. Now you will observe that V is directly proportional to I. This is called as Ohm's law. Now this is true. Similarly, if you place, instead of iron spoke, if you place LED, you will notice that as the potential difference increases, the current also increases, but the V by I ratio will not be constant. First case, when you are taking iron spoke, as the potential difference increases, current also increases in such a way that V by I is a constant. V by I ratio will be constant, that is V1 by I1 will be equal to V2 by I2, that will be equal to V3 by I3, that will be equal to V4 by I4, that will be equal to V5 by I5. That is, V is directly proportional to I. If you take a graph and plot this on the graph, you will observe that the graph will give you a straight line. You can take I on x axis, V on y axis. Now if you plot the graph between V and I values, you will observe that the graph is a straight line. The graph is a straight line. Similarly, instead of iron spoke, you keep LED here. Instead of iron spoke, we are keeping what? LED in the gap. You will observe that as the V value changes, I value also changes, but it won't be linear. It will be a curve. This is for this kind of conductors which obey Ohm's law are called ohmic conductors. And the conductors which do not obey Ohm's law are called non-ohmic conductors. So in this activity we have seen that V is directly proportional to I, B is equal to IR. Remove this proportionality, you will get a constant called R. This R is called resistance. That is, as you are increasing V1, I1 also increases in such a way that the resistance offered as V1 increases, I1 values also increases in such a way that V is directly proportional to I. When you are removing this proportionality, we introduce a constant called IR. B is no doubt proportional to I, but it depends upon the resistance offered by the resistor. Now, we have seen what are ohmic conductors and what are non-ohmic conductors. So here from V is equal to IR, R is equal to V by I. Now unit for V is volts, unit for current is amperes. This volt per amperes is called ohms. So the unit for resistance is ohms. It is the unit for resistance is what? Ohms. OHMS is the unit for resistance. Here you have observed that some materials obey Ohm's law, some materials do not obey Ohm's law. Now Ohm's law is not true for semiconductors, it doesn't hold good for gases, it holds good only for metals provided the temperature and other physical conditions must be same. Now, but if the temperature changes, the Ohm's law will not hold good for even metals. Now, as you are passing current, what happens is temperature of the conductor increases, in that case the resistance increases. So in that case you will not get a straight line graph here. So here for the metal to obey Ohm's law, the temperature has to be constant and the physical conditions also have to be constant. So that is about the Ohm's law. Now we are discussing a topic, our next topic is about resistance. Resistance. When electrons move in a conductor, whenever the electrons are moving in the conductor, what happens is they collide with the lattice ions and then they stop for a certain time, then they move with the drift speed, again they are accelerated. So here the motion of the electrons is opposed by the lattice ions. So this is called resistance. The opposition to the flow of electrons by the lattice ions in the conductor is called resistance. Resistance varies with different, it depends upon number of factors. We have discussed about the factors that affecting the resistors in other class. So that's about today's class. Thank you children. We will continue in the next class.